Hey y'all, welcome back to the Heart of Home. The last video I shared with you guys, I was very sad to share the news that my 2 bee colonies had recently died. And I have since decided that the small colony died simply just, they were too small. They weren't able to move around to their food sources and stay warm, so they died. And I expected that because we caught them so late. And then the large colony actually starved, which is just beyond me because they had so much food, but the colony was so big and it got so cold here. Like it got to like -50. It was insane wind chill. Just, yeah, it was crazy. And when that happens, the bees move a lot more, which means they're burning more calories and they have to eat more and go through more of their reserves. And unfortunately, I just didn't have a day warm enough to open the hive up again and give them more food. But I am very grateful that I kept them alive as long as I did, because again, we caught these swarms at, I think in August or the end of July, somewhere in there, which is a big risk for any beekeeper in the Midwest. All that said though, let me show you guys something. You see all that activity out there? Unfortunately, it's not a swarm. It's just bees robbing what's left in this hive, which is mostly sugar from their winter feeding. But there is some honey actually, so we'll see if they get it. In the meantime, I am actually planning on starting some seeds today, but first I need coffee. So I went out to our little garden shed where I keep all of my seeds, and I finally got them out, which makes me so excited. So I have seen a couple reels of people starting, I believe it's just perennial flowers in like milk jugs, or we have water carton jug, gallon jug things that we use for tea and coffee and such. And I've been saving them. I've got 10 here. Now, if you're not new here, you know that we have been turning our front landscape into a perennial landscape because I want to maximize what we actually have to work with, because we live in, well, it's kind of like the outskirts of a city, but we live in the city. And so we're very limited in the space that I have to do anything. And so everything that we do here is maximized, or will be. So here is what I have been seeing on Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, are people doing essentially a mini greenhouse in a water jug or a milk jug, just a clear container of some sort. And what they're doing is called a cold stratification. And cold stratifying a seed, preferably a native or a perennial seed, to your growing region, which again, I'm in zone 5 if you're new here, is going to, essentially the cold is going to trigger a chemical in these seeds, which breaks the dormancy stage of this seed, therefore creating a stronger seed. You're gonna have a higher germination rate, etc. Now, what happens if you don't do a cold stratification on your seedlings? Well, there's a good chance they'll still grow. They just might be a little weaker. You might have a really low to no germination rate. But it's not the end of the world. What I'm understanding is that there are multiple ways to do this. You could do a wet stratification, which is like you would wet a paper towel, put the seedlings in the paper towel, or like wet soil, stick it in your fridge from anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks. I'm getting all the notifications on my computer right now, and then the baby's crying and the microwave's beeping. And there's another message. It's just one of those days. You could also do a dry stratification, which is just putting the seeds in the fridge or like in a freezer. And basically what is happening is these seeds are being told that they've already overwintered and that now it's spring and it's time for them to grow. So today I'm going to open up my seeds from a new seed company that I'm trying and show some of them to you guys. I'm not going to be cold stratifying all of them. I just feel like this would be really fun to share with you some of the new seeds that I got. we'll do more in-depth videos and garden planning videos here in the next couple weeks as well. I cannot stop looking at my bees. Well, they're not my bees. They're actually somebody else's bees or wild bees, but they're enjoying the work of my bees. So pardon me if I'm very distracted. And then I'm gonna pull out some of the old flower seeds that I had. Now, our front landscape is, hesitate. We were trying to make it edible, and it's still the goal. It's just that edible plants in our zone are either like dwarf fruit trees or full-size fruit trees, or like bushes for like berries and such. And we're not doing that in our front landscape. We're not doing that in the front yard. So it's a combination of just local perennials, which will there feed our bees, so that we're not constantly fighting over who gets the fruit and the flower, but the perennials that are non-edible, the bees get to enjoy, which therefore create honey that we get to enjoy. And so we're going to combine both edible, which I'll probably buy some from the farmer's market. I really love to support local gardeners as well. And then grow some of my own perennials between different salvias, and the echinacea, we'll split some of those, and just some variety of flowers. So let's get after it. I don't have the entire afternoon, so we gotta pick and choose what we're gonna do. And I think I would rather go through my seeds right now. I think that would be more fun than you watching me cut containers and fill them with dirt. So I am trying a new seed company this year. These are from Pine Tree Garden Seeds. The website is superseeds.com. I'm not affiliated or anything. They sent a catalog and it was the first one to get here, so I ordered from them. Some other companies that I actually really enjoy and have found some really great seeds from are Baker Creek. What is that? We got people blasting music outside. Oh, if we get through this video, it's gonna be a miracle. Anyways, Baker Creek, Organo Republic, Seed Savers, just local seed companies and garden nurseries. Wow, I didn't realize how much I ordered. Let me go ahead and get these organized before I share them with you. Okay, we have some organization. Now, some of these are just to replenish what I went through last year. Others, well, probably half of them are new seeds. So I don't have a garden plan yet. That is in my things to do in the next like couple weeks. Here in Zone 5, we really don't have to focus on starting our seeds, the bulk of our seeds, until March. Now, if you were going to start onions or leeks, for example, so I've got some onions here, you do want to get those usually around the end of January or February, depending on if it's long day, short day, you know, varieties. Every year, I feel this like FOMO of other gardeners posting videos and pictures and reels and stuff about all of their seeds starting set up and how their seeds are growing. And I'm like, I don't even have my seeds out of storage yet. And this year I told myself, I was like, don't get ahead of the wagon, okay? Take your time and do what is appropriate to your zone. So if you're seeing this and you live like in Canada or something, just know your growing season starts a lot later than mine. So you're not late to the game, you're actually prepared because you're watching this. So just a quick rundown of what I got. I got more radishes. I won't even tell you what varieties. I mean, that'll be in the garden tours. We've got beets as well. I'm gonna do some more beet kvass and different like beet smoothies and stuff. Really try to get them into our diet because I struggle to enjoy them, but they're so good for you. I've got multiple hot peppers. We got the jalafuego, cubanelle. It's a sweet pepper. I got a sweet banana, a pimento pepper, because the southern part of me, I used to live in South Carolina. I went to school in Charleston. The pimento cheese, they don't know about it in the Midwest. So we're growing peppers, and we're gonna make pimento cheese. Jalapeno, so I thought these would be fun to do in the green stock. We got the Vicuña yellows. These little sweet peppers I saw at a restaurant once, and I was like, what is this? I have to know. They pickled them and put them on a salad, and they were so stinking cute. And then the Italian pepperoncini. If you don't know, that's what's on the Olive Garden salads, the little peppers they have. So I got a new tomato variety this year. I'm not going crazy on tomatoes. I'm only gonna plant a few because if you were here for last year's season, you know we didn't get a ton of tomatoes for whatever reason. They're really late. We got more ground cherries. These are the best ones. These are Aunt Molly's. They're the really big, delicious ones. So good. Another pumpkin variety. We got kohlrabi. We got some squash, some onions, some okra. We are going to do the Calypso dried beans. I haven't done dried beans before because frankly, I struggle to do anything that I can't grow vertically and harvest like immediately and then, you know, re-sow, fill something else into that space. But we're going to try that this year. And we've got some other shelling peas and snap peas. Some cucumbers. We are going to focus hard on cucumbers this year to replenish the pickles. The pickle stash is dwindling because 2 seasons ago, I forgot the vinegar in my Amish pickles. So they were like watery pickles and it was disgusting. We got mustard and, you know, celery, cabbage, and then a buttload of different greens, which greens I'm going to be sowing pretty quickly, especially spinach. That stuff is very, very hardy in our area. So eventually I will get all these sorted and put into my seed catalog, but for now, we're just gonna do a little stackaroo. You will have to let me know who you order your seeds through, or if you have any fun, like, garden traditions. Like for me, I love to try different seed companies, but not only that, I love to grow something new every single year in my garden. So if you have a tradition, let me know in the comments below, share it with us. If no one else wants to read it, I want to read it. So please comment below. All right. At the beginning of the garden season, there was some order to this. However, at the end of the garden season, it's kind of like chaos. You know how it goes. I need more stickers to add. I would love to decorate this in stickers. If you got some, message me. I mean, today it's almost 60 degrees. It's crazy. And then it's going to be like 28. Insane. This is why I can't trust the weather here. I might actually try to start some and set them outside and treat them like mini greenhouses. The only risk I'd be running is if the seedlings came up and then it froze and obviously didn't stay warm enough inside. I'm like, you know those bee houses where I've never been to one, where you can like go and reserve a room for the night and you can like sleep on a beehive and like the vibrations are super therapeutic and the sound and stuff. If you haven't heard about them, yes, it's as crazy as it sounds, but that's what I feel like I'm in right now because I got my windows open and those bees are just robbing the heck out of those boxes, and all I can think about is the buzz that I hear while I'm talking to you guys. You guys probably can't hear it. The microphone's not going to pick it up, but I love it. I love bees. Goodness, I'm so sad my 2 hives died. So unfortunate. Let's go through it. A lot of these are herbs. I do not actually have a ton of perennial seeds. That'll be something. That was a 4-wheeler. This is the life. Now I gotta wait for them to stop talking, or I gotta shut my windows, and I don't want to shut my windows. So these are not technically perennial. It's a flower mix, and it's called Save the Bees. So sweet, speaking of bees. But you can sow these. It says 2 to 4 weeks before your last frost date. Now here in our zip code, the last frost date I believe was May 4th. Which is actually kind of early. I think last year it was like May 20 something. So that's exciting. But I will sow these probably in April. My birthday is April 3rd. Maybe I'll do them on my birthday. How fun would that be? So I'm gonna leave them out. Now lavender, I think I read that lavender actually doesn't need to be cold stratified. This one actually feels empty, but I've got more. We will do some lavender. If I could cover my front yard in lavender, I would. The only issue is with our front yard, half of it gets sun and half of it is like complete shade. So even if you try to do something symmetrical, it just doesn't work because one plant is getting all the sun and one side is getting all the shade. And I'm a very like aesthetic, like it has to like look good, feel good kind of thing. And so we have a very square symmetrical house. And so the landscape needs to be symmetrical, but it's stretching me. I still have not been able to figure out what the heck to do in the front yard. It's driving me bonkers. So snapdragons are not technically perennial. I gotta close my windows. So sad. I can't say I blame them. I got my windows open. I got things going on outside. I don't blame them for also having things going on outside. Snapdragons, not technically perennial here in zone 5, but they are, I believe, a tender perennial with the correct protection. Question mark. So we're gonna try these as well. Now, sunflowers, we have so many native sunflower or Black-eyed Susan. A lot of black-eyed Susans that are native here actually look like miniature sunflowers, which the black-eyed Susans are perennial. Sunflowers technically no. I'm sure there are some varieties. I'm really tempted. I might actually try to start these. They're older seeds too, so I mean the germination rate is only going down. Benefits to bee gardeners. How cute. I'm gonna try them because here's what I'm thinking. I've grown sunflowers before, and a lot of times, Kayan, leave the neighbors alone. Hello. Kai, no. They drop their seeds, and then whatever seeds the birds and, you know, squirrels and everything don't find, we have, I mean, growing as volunteers the next season. And so if I can cold stratify these seeds, I don't see why it would be any different than if they actually overwintered outside. And I mean, that goes for tomatoes and ground cherries. I mean, we always have volunteers popping up. So in my mind, I'm like, why wouldn't this work other than the fact of my greenhouses when I set these outside getting too cold after a seed has germinated? I don't know. It's kind of an experiment. This is fun. We're going to try it. This is the beauty about following my channel is you learn from my failures. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm just very sad sometimes. Would have been a, oh, here's another one. We'll try that sunflower too. I would have been a better YouTuber if I had all this planned out beforehand, but like I said, I'm real and this is the reality of this channel. So if you were my friend sitting across the table, I wouldn't be like, okay, I have everything planned. Let me just go ahead and share with you what I'm doing. As nice as that would be, this is just more of a, hey, come sit down. Let me make you a coffee. I'm a mess today. Just spend time with me. Oh, mercy. Good thing for waterproof, resistant, whatever packets. I crack myself up, man. Sometimes. Where's my gift pile? Okay, so my friends Josh and Jordan over at Working Aussies Homestead in North Carolina, they do hibiscus, and so they use this roselle. And they gave me a bunch of seeds to start, and it's technically an annual up here, but if I start them soon enough, they get bushy. And what I was thinking originally is that I'd put these on the side of the house. However, I've got strawberries and rhubarb over there now, but I could put these in the front landscape. Actually, no, I know where I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna put them on the side of the house over where the worm bins are, because I haven't done anything with that side of the house right now other than establish the worm farm. But I've been wanting to do a rotation with garlic and onions, which I have going, and then get rid of the hostas, because hostas are like, I'm sorry if you like hostas, but like, I'm over them. I am so over them. That's like the first thing I posted on Facebook Marketplace when we moved in here was free hostas, come and get them. They're great and they grow really well in the shade. I know. I've grown up with them my entire life. I've split them from my grandma's house. I've split them at my mother's house. I've split them in my own yard. I am done with hostas. So I'm going to replace hostas with this roselle. So Josh or Jordan, if you're watching this, this is the year. This is the year I'm going to do it. Chamomile and feverfew. I know chamomile is also hardy to cold weather. Frost hardy, yes. So we're gonna go ahead and start some chamomile. Feverfew looks a lot like chamomile, but they're actually not the same. Also, if you are looking for a seed company that gives you ample amount of information and resources and tools, go check out Organo Republic. I do have a rep code in the description. Yes, I would make some very, very little. Some money if you bought something, but even if I didn't, I would still recommend them. I have been amazed by their seeds. Their germination rate is top notch, but seriously, like the information on the back of these packets is far beyond information that I've received on other packets, quite honestly. And it's diverse. They have like everything, which is amazing. Made in the USA, non-GMO. They're all heirloom seeds. Yeah, they're amazing. Okay. Moving on. I don't know that I want to start the herbs yet. I might actually, rosemary is a good one. I would love a rosemary bush, honestly, but they're so stinking expensive and we don't make enough money for me to go buy a $100 rosemary bush. But they smell so lovely. While I love herbs, I'm not a huge fan of starting them. I find it easier to start or to buy them from the farmer's market. It's just one of those things. I love supporting local, especially the ones that put in the work to go sell at the farmer's market. Like that's a lot of work. So I only have so much time to do all of this. I'm gonna leave these out. Those have to be put away. This is my pile for cold stratification. But before I break these down, I am going to fill these with soil. I've got 10 jugs full of moist soil. Now, Silas, our son, really wants to help me plant flowers, and so I'm gonna go ahead and just get the tags labeled and get the seeds set out in front of the pot so that when he gets here, we can quickly do that together. Now you don't want to compact your soil, but I am, because you want it to be light and fluffy so that the seeds roots can actually grow without having to, push through this super dense soil. But I am gonna pat them down. As you can see, I'm just kind of like damping them down. That way they're not so fluffy. This soil mixture that I got was just an organic, it just says it's an organic potting soil. I think it was like 15 bucks from Earl May Garden Center here in town. And I probably only used half of it, not even actually. Okay, so the seeds that I picked that I'm gonna try, hyssop and bergamot, I'll probably put them together. We've got calendula, feverfew, another feverfew, and a chamomile. Echinacea, again, we're gonna try it from seed just to say that we have. The roselle, which is a hibiscus flower that we can harvest for tea. We're gonna try some different sunflowers, snapdragons, lavender, and lavender. So again, I don't think any of these other than the lavender and the echinacea are actually perennial. And you're supposed to do this with perennial plants. So we're just kind of experimenting. I really wanna see how this works. It is currently February 16th. And so this is very early. It's very warm right now for February. Usually February here in Iowa is like the coldest month, and it's one of our springs. It's like the first spring is what I call it. We go through like this wave of like spring, winter, spring, winter, spring, winter. No Kion, until it's officially spring, which won't happen until May. So this is an experiment. If you've done this before, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and line these up and then we'll wait for Silas. So there are multiple ways that you can mark your seeds. Here, somebody last year actually recommended, I think it was called the gardener's marker. I'll have it linked below. It's an Amazon link. I know I ordered it, but Lord send mercy, I don't know where I put it. Hopefully it's in here. Darn. It's not, but that's okay because, so the gardener's marker, again, linked below if you want it, is apparently way hardier when it comes to labeling tags, especially like these plastic tags that I get from Earl May, and leaving them outside in the elements. Now, I usually write with Sharpie on these, and they'll last probably 2/3 to like 3/4 of the season, but by the time comes of harvest time, well, one, I can identify what the plant is because I can see the fruit. But two, it's usually worn off at that point, or I can make out like a letter or two. Another thing that I have done before is used wooden sticks. Now that they'll wash away right away, like little popsicle sticks. But one of my favorite things, and if I had more time, I would maybe one of these years when we're done like renovating and doing things around the house, I'll get back to it. But when we were living in Grundy Center, our last town, I actually had rocks that I painted. And so I painted a picture of the tomato and like wrote tomato or pickling cucumber or onions. And I just left those rocks in front of where the plant is. Now the only downside to that is if you have kids like mine, they like to move them. So, but if you, what's it called? There's, if you like lacquer that, and that's not lacquer, but if you put something over the rock, like the paint will last. Now mine lasted a couple seasons actually, and I didn't finish them at all or put any sort of like water resistant, safeguard on top of the paint. I just used paint on a rock and it works great. And it's fun. So if you have kids, that could also be a really great way to get them involved in the garden. Baby. Hey, guess what?
Round.
Do you want to help me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm almost ready for you. Can you go put your stuff away? That one is for it's called Snapdragons. Okay? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have you come over here actually. Put the lid down.
You know you're introducing microplastics to that biome. That's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
You should be using glass and you should be purifying it every time.
I can't.
Sunflowers.
That is called feverfew. These ones are sunflowers right here. Ah.
What are those?
Hmm.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, do you see how tiny
Yeah,
these
please.
seeds are? Those are itty bitty. You show our friends, eh? Itty bitty seeds. Can you see it?
There you go.
Itty bitty seeds. So seeds this little, we just sprinkle. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do it. You're gonna take a pinch and you just sprinkle, 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 sprinkle.
I can't wait.
Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'll get some more. I'll get some more. Plant the seed
Plant the seed
twice as deep
twice as deep
as it is
as it is
wide.
as it is wide.
Wide, that's right. Smart boy. Now with those little seeds, you really don't have to put soil back on top of them, but if you want, you could sprinkle some soil or you could just gently tap them into the soil. Or again, you could take it and tap it down.
Sunflowers gone.
Uh-oh. Yep, that's a bummer.
Recording.
It's recording now?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, cameraman. So the only other thing that I need to do before I set these outside, which I will do outside, is poke some holes in the bottom so that they have some drainage, but also some air rotating through them, and that it's not just some closed off little greenhouse that doesn't have any oxygen coming in and out. Okay, y'all, well that is it. This is cold stratification for some not so perennial flowers here in Zone 5, but we are doing an experiment, and if anything, we'll have some lessons learned. So I'm gonna go ahead and poke some holes in these and take them out in the front yard where it's the south facing side of the road, and so they'll get the most amount of sunshine over there, which is going to keep them the warmest here in the next couple months while we wait for spring to officially arrive. Again, if you have any gardening traditions that you do every year, like for me, I plant something new every single gardening season. Go ahead and let us know by commenting below and sharing what your garden traditions are. And then also, if you've done cold stratification or if you're kind of a geek with this stuff, let us know what you know in the comments below, because this whole community, this whole channel is just to grow this community and to encourage and equip one another. So I will catch you all in the next video and I will keep you updated, I promise. Until then.